What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown for strategy with the ticker symbol MSTR. I will first be going over what I see in the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. My goal for today is to show you guys what the market participants are doing and where they're most likely going to take the price to next. So let's take a look at today. Well, it looks like price did trade up to the 320 level, almost the 321 level, and got rejected. Why? Because there was some potential resistance that could form over there. So let's go and clear all the drawings and go over the chart. You can see that price was this was at the prior breakout zone, and this was prior support. So this was support over here, support over here. Price broke down lower, and now price is trying to get back above that level, but it's staying below it. So this level is now potential resistance. As you can see here, it's leading to some sort of sell-off. So we need to see price continue making these green bars. We need to see big green bars after big green bars. We don't want to see stuff like this. It's not too worrying because sometimes you will see that, but generally you want to see price just continue to push up. See, I wanted to see something like this. I want to see price slice right through that level. I didn't want to see it come up to it and kind of haphazardly not break through it, right? You want to see price break through. And then in conjunction with that horizontal resistance, there's this downward trend line that you connect the pivot right here to this pivot. This was the confirmation right over here. And now we're right still at it. So again, we need to see price strongly push through it. I'm not saying just like barely break out like this. I need to see price at least go here, probably at least to the 350 level. Then it's much more of a decisive breakout. This is just a small little break, and a lot of times it can fail. As you can see here, we need to see how the price closes. The candle is looking kind of bearish so far. Most likely it's going to be closing bearish. I think there's still a lot of uncertainty in the market. Bitcoin is also looking a little bit weak, showing a little bit of weakness. Let me show you guys that right now. Again, I look at Bitcoin for members, so I'm not trying to show you guys everything, but you can see that Bitcoin's chart, we have a bullish trend line in play off the swing lows that we just got rejected from or bounced from right over here. And then we have this downward trend line in play that we're still getting rejected from. So are we wasting more time again getting pinched between these trend lines up until late March? I mean, I hope not. I don't want to go through another one of those months where it's just nothing, because eventually this will continue moving up higher. It's just wasting time at this point. So you see that price is dropping down lower. But I need to see a decisive breakthrough of the $92,000, $93,000 level as well for Bitcoin. So something like this, like a nice push through, and then boom, it's off to the races. So until we see that, price is still in kind of bearish territory, still, even though we did see a nice move up higher in the short term. So this is still a leg down right here, another leg down. Price met the target, so there is some decent support at the that 240 level, 238 level. But I want to see price get back above the 310 level and stay above it, not just like push through it and fail. You want to see decisive breaks. You want to see strong buying momentum. So I think there's a crypto summit coming out tomorrow by President Trump. So that might be a big deal. I think Michael Saylor is also invited to that as well. So that might be huge for MicroStrategy or strategy. So I think there's some big crypto or Bitcoin news potentially coming out tomorrow or over the weekend. And it's going to be leading to a breakout in either direction. We're going to see a dump down or continuation higher, a nice rally out of here, because this thing needs to make up some ground. We're still kind of behind in terms of time. If this is supposed to top out later this year, based on, Bitcoin cycles, then this thing needs to get a move on. It needs to get out of here. It's taking way too much time at these lower price levels. It needs to continue moving up higher. So overall, it's hanging in there. It's actually doing much better than other stocks right now. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla is down 6.5%, and thus far from its all-time high. That's a 46% drop for a a trillion-dollar company, right? Once upon a time, it was more than $1 trillion. A 45% drop, 46% drop, that's an enormous amount of capital that just left the stock. Now let's take a look at Google. Google, multi-trillion-dollar company, right? $2 trillion. From its high to the low, that was a 20% drop basically, right? If you just round it out, 20% drop. So again, there's a lot of stocks that are also not doing that well. The whole market is looking a little weak. Nvidia, multi-trillion-dollar corporation, 2.6 trillion right now. Once upon a time, it was the most valuable company in the world. It's at 27% of a drop. So that's a lot of capital. Where did these trillions of dollars go to, right? They're going to just be sitting in cash. The big money knows that cash is not going to be a good long-term play. So it's just they're doing something with it. It's being moved around to other assets or other capital places, but as right now, Meta 15% drop. And let's take a look at Hood, Robinhood, right? Why am I looking at Hood? This small company at 40 billion has a drop of about, 36% at one point. So this company is much larger than this company with, sizable drops as well. Tesla, Nvidia, there's probably a bunch of others, you could find as well. So it just goes to show you that the market is not looking that good, right? For a bunch of other stocks. So for MicroStrategy to hold off at a 2% drop as of right now, we'll see how it closes, but it's holding up pretty well. And it could be foreshadowing something potentially good coming in the future. So I'm just looking for a breakout for Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. Once we get a breakout of this downward sloping trend line and a good breakout, not just a little fake breakout that we just saw. Like when you see the breakout, you'll know it's a breakout. This was not a breakout. This was just a tiny fraction of what you can expect to see. So I think if we do see an actual breakout, it'll quickly go up to the 350, 400 level in the matter of a week. You can easily get there in a week. And at the end of the month, it can get to all-time highs. And that's if it rallies, right? If it continues to push up higher, end of the month, I would be expecting $500 if we see a break of this trend line. Again, it's not guaranteed either because this is another situation that can play out. But sometimes we can decisively see the breakout, and then sometimes it might just fail. But that's generally a very low probability. You don't really necessarily see that all the time. Generally, when price breaks it, especially with the trend that's up, it continues moving up higher. Maybe not in a straight line, but it'll move in this little wave fashion, something like that. So that's all I wanted to cover for daily chart for MicroStrategy. And I think one more thing I want to cover is when are they going to buy more Bitcoin, right? They had 500,000 right now, if you round it out, 1,000 just a rounding error at this point. So 500,000 Bitcoin. And if you look at the purchase history, generally practically every week they buy. You can see that 913 to 920, that's about a week. 920 to 1111, again, that was like a couple of month gap right there. And then 1118 another week later, 25 another week later, 25 to 2 week later, then December 9th a week later, 16th a week later. So it kept on going week after week. And then last time was February 24th. So this upcoming, I think, Monday or soon will probably be around 2 weeks. So I'm expecting another 10,000 Bitcoin purchase for MicroStrategy. And that's just the catalyst we need to see, right? Especially right after reaching a potential permanent bottom. We need to see continued buying from MicroStrategy, right? What's better than Bitcoin? If Bitcoin is going to outperform everything, almost everything in the world, what's better than that? A company that continues to buy more Bitcoin, and that's all they do, right? And they continue to buy more and more. So it's one of the best business models you can do, right? Let's take a look at the weekly chart. Because they don't have to sell to anyone. They just got to buy the Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the log scale. And again, this week is looking pretty bullish so far. You see that the weekly candle is looking strong so far. We have another day left and a little bit of today. So this candle is looking strong. Looks like generally you see these type of candles at bottoms. These type of reversal candles. Like generally when price is going to continue higher, you'll see it at a pivot point. So just like over here, you saw a big red dump candle and then a big follow-through candle. Small ones right here, small ones. This one was a decent size. You see big candles coming in. There was a big candle right here and a couple big ones right here. Led to a good rally. We're seeing some big candles right here. So the candles are foreshadowing something. Volatility is increasing. For a very volatile stock, it's actually holding up very well. And again, long-term targets still stand, in my opinion. Bullish trend lines are still in play. Generally, we see 3 to 4. So this is 1. This is the 2. And we're still at the 2 as well. So we haven't even really started. Wait till we get to like the third one, something like that. That can quickly get to, $3,000 by July. This thing can run. I'm just saying, again, I don't want to butter you guys up or, just be one of those pumper type of people. But I'm going off the chart. And the chart is looking pretty good, and right now it's already at 306. I was talking about it at 300. So, a $20 swing is nothing. Like this thing can do $20, $30 swings like candy. like taking candy from a baby. It's nothing, right? It just does it for breakfast. Let's take a look at some measurement targets. One leg up right here. Second leg up. This target was met and price was still really bullish. So that tells me it wants to continue trending up higher. So you combine the first two legs together and then you bring it over to the correction, and that takes it right around to $2,300. And then if you can also measure this impulse right here from this low to high, you drag this over. This is right around 1600. And then again, the long-term target that everyone wants, $4,000. Can it get there? I think so. You see this is all one leg right here. Let's take a look at the monthly chart for that. So we have the monthly chart right here. This is the entire price history for MicroStrategy on a public exchange. You see that this one leg up right here. Price corrected lower. So we drag this arrow over. We're going to copy it. It's the same size. I'm not doing a magic trick here. This is the same size. You move it there. And let's say you didn't know where the top was in 2021. Well, let's say you have the measurement target at the proper place and you drag a horizontal line across at the tip of the arrow. Right there, right around $93. And then you can see that price is slowly working its way up, and then boom, it gets rejected right off that level right here. Boom, right there, right off the line. And then price dumps down lower, and it still continues to move up higher, right? So now that tells me that the market is going for a bigger one now. So we combine the first two legs together. Technically, it's a little bit higher now because there was a wick. And then you drag this over. Again, same size arrow. Bring it to the bottom of the bear market of 2022. And this is right around $4,000. Again, it sounds insane, but again, I've done a lot of these type of analysis, and I've shown targets that are insane, and I don't believe it at all. I do not believe it at all sometimes either, but it works out. That's just how it happens. Why? Because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. A lot of algorithms are programmed based on the technicals, channels, trend lines, whatever indicator you want to use, or even measurement targets. Again, if the volatility was this size before, there's a good chance we can duplicate that in the future. So this is still looking very bullish, still long term, and we haven't seen nothing yet. If this is going to be times 2 of Bitcoin's volatility, I mean, if Bitcoin, if you guys already been through the bull markets or have seen them, you know how Bitcoin rolls, right? Now, how do you think MicroStrategy is going to roll in this Bitcoin bull market with 500,000 Bitcoin? I mean, it's just going to be insane, right? Again, if it's not this year, it's soon. I can't say when. I can't say exactly when. I think it's going to be this year, right? But I don't know the future. I'm going off what I see in the chart. I do not know what's going to happen in the future. The chart is telling me it looks pretty good. Looking for those higher price targets. I'm looking for a breakout. I think once we see a breakout, I think everyone's going to be pretty excited. To me, this looks like the bottom of the correction. And just looking for a breakout higher. I think once that summit happens or whatever is going to happen there, either way, the technicals are already saying some bullish things are going to happen. If not, it is what it is, and then we go with what happens. But as right now, it's all that for MicroStrategy and the daily weekly charts. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.